guys, welcome back. So in today's video we are going to be doing my updated foundation routine. I've changed it up over the last few months, so I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you some of the changes I've made in order to get this kind of like dewy finish, more full coverage foundation. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. This is for very dry to dry combination skin. Works really well. But I also really like the Clinique Moisture Surge. This is the Extended Thirst Relief Gel Cream. So that's the Moisture Surge is like a gel, and this one's like a lotion. This one is for very dry to dry combination skin, which is why I like it. So you only need like a little bit, and it will do your neck and your chest. For eye cream right now, I'm using Clinique All About Eyes. This one is Reduces Circles and Puffs. I also like the Bobbi Brown Hydrating Eye Cream. These are like the two that I use. But what I do a lot now is I really want my under eyes to not look dry and cakey. That's kind of been the focus lately. So I'm using my ring finger and blending that in. So I use a good amount of eye cream underneath my eye, like right here, right in the very inner corners. That's where I used to get very cakey and creasy. And I'm hoping, you know, it'll moisturize that area and sink into those fine lines a bit. I've let that sink in a bit. I'm going to use a primer. My new favorite has been the Makeup Forever HD primer. And this is a deluxe size sample. It's going to be gone very soon, and it makes me sad. I also really like the YSL Touche Eclat Blurring Primer. I don't know that it blurs, but I do like the way my makeup applies on top of it. Like, it has those little gold shimmer, like reflective particles in the clear primer. So I like these two. I also like the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This one to me though is just a little bit more, I think, geared towards dry skin, so it's not really as hydrating. It says it's hydrating, but I don't know. I like the foundation primer by Mercier. This one's pretty good. She makes a Radiance one and a regular one. And I also really like the Korres Anti-Aging Primer. This one is the Quercetin and Oak Face Primer. So those are kind of my favorite primers. I do have like dry to normal, depending on the day. Some days it's dry, and some days it's kind of combination. But anyway, I'm using the Makeup Forever HD one. I'm just putting a little bit on my fingers, and I'm concentrating it mostly on the center half of my face. I leave kind of like the outer quarter on each side without primer because I don't need it there. My makeup doesn't tend to budge that much. Like I said, I have dry skin. So now I'm using the Bobbi Brown Corrector in Peach. I use this right under my eyes, and the Bobbi Brown Corrector in Peach looks like this. I just use my ring finger. And since my under eyes are very nice and hydrated, put this right underneath my eyes, mostly on the inner corner, but I just take what's left and I kind of tap it around the area. It really takes care of a lot of the under eye stuff. I noticed in the videos where I did not do this step, my under eyes look darker in the video, so thanks YouTube. I've been a foundation brush girl for years. I love the Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki. I love lots of like foundation brushes. But lately, I'm going back to the basics and using a damp beauty blender. I have found that it gives me the best finish. And the other product that I've been using almost every single day are the CoverFX Custom Cover Drops. I got them in the shade G30. I think that these are like the most amazing invention ever. And basically, I take any foundation I want and I can add coverage to it. I can even add coverage to my primer or my moisturizer and have that just sit on my face. But I like it because a lot of foundations, that was my complaint, was like I didn't have enough coverage for my chin area. By 10 a.m. my chin area had worn off, and I'm not oily. I was like, what's going on? It's like I just needed a little bit more coverage, you know? So I'm going to use the CoverFX the CoverFX Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. I have it in N40. I love this foundation. I also really like the YSL Touche Eclat foundation. I have not tried the new version. I know they created like an updated formulation of it, but I have not tried that. So I'm using N40 of the foundation and G30 of the drops. And since this foundation is pretty high coverage, I'm just using a drop or two on my hand. Got it ready to go. And then I'm using my finger to just kind of swirl those two products together. And I'm just dotting it all over my face. I kind of dot it wherever I think I need more coverage. I mean, it's going to go everywhere anyway, and I can always add concealer to those places I need more coverage, but I do avoid my under eyes with the foundation now. I didn't really used to care about that, but I found the fewer products they put there, the better. And I do dot some on my neck, just for the sake of consistency. I like to make sure my neck gets some. But yeah, I avoid getting it up under my eye area, really. I think it has helped a lot. So now I just take the Beauty Blender, any side, and I just pounce it on my face. And I always take it back here, right behind the ear and right under the jaw. That area gets neglected by most women who don't care, like who don't study makeup. Like, you really have to make sure you do that part. I always pull back my hair a little bit. I'm trying to make sure I get in the hairline. I'm not trying to paint my hair or anything, but I do like to make sure it's not obvious that I have foundation on there. Sometimes I'll just take what's left on the Beauty Blender and pat that on my eyes, and that'll help cancel out some of the redness on my eyelids. Okay, so that is the basics of the foundation routine. Now you see my skin is very dewy, almost too dewy for most people, but I am going to set it with powder. I find that that foundation I have to use powder, and that's okay with me. So now I use a concealer under my eyes and anywhere else that I need to. I use 2 concealers most days. I have 3 here, but I usually use about 2 of them. So I've been using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer in medium all over anywhere that I have like blemishes that I want to cover. So this concealer is more of like my actual skin color. It's not brightening. It's not going to draw attention to anything that I don't want to draw attention to. But I just dot it on anywhere that I think I need a little more coverage, and then I use the Beauty Blender and press it in. It doesn't brighten my under eyes. So I'm going to use just a little bit of that. I just drew like a little squiggly, a check mark underneath my eyes. I'm not like loading it on like you see a lot of the I'm not loading it on like you see a lot of the girls on YouTube do. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't need all that product there because I don't want it to crease. So right now I'm going with the point up towards my under eyes and pouncing it in. And I go in with the Beauty Blender point sideways. And this is going to any makeup that accidentally got sealed into some of those fine lines. Now I point the other way, and the force is going the opposite direction. It kind of helps it not get stuck in those lines. And I'm taking what's left on the Beauty Blender right around the corners of the nose. Now for brightening, I'm using the YSL Eclat Radiant Touch Pen. I have it in 2.5 vanilla. Just click it a couple of times. I'm using that at the top of the cheekbones, down the center of the nose. A little bit, I could draw an X at the Cupid's bow. And then a little bit more over here. Do a couple lines on the forehead. And a couple of lines here on the chin. And then I go in again with the same damp Beauty Blender and I pounce it out. And once you like use a full coverage foundation like I did, you need to add some more dimension back into your face. So I think it helps to use something like the Radiant Touch Pen because it's not dry. It's just a little bit lighter than my skin, and it adds that dimension back in. And I take what's left on my Beauty Blender because it currently has the lighter concealers on it. And I'm tapping that right underneath where the bronzer, the contour would go. which is gonna lighten that area just a little. I'm not like trying to bake or anything today. I'm just lightening. If I've got more product on the brush and if I've got more product on the Beauty Blender, I'm gonna take advantage of it. And then I turn the Beauty Blender sideways and do the same thing. Anything left on the Beauty Blender. This is also picking up any excess product that it doesn't need, which avoids cake face. Okay, so that's the gist of what I do for the skincare primer, the corrector, foundation, concealer, brightener. Now I'm going to set my face with some powder. I've been loving the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Natural in Light Plus. I find that it adds a tiny bit of coverage, but not too much. And I do like the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. I like both of those, but they're just messier and not as fast to work with. If I'm going to bake, though, of course I use those, but I do like the MAC Finishing Powder. I do like the MAC powder for like every day because it's not messy, it's quick, and I like that I can throw it in my purse on the go. So I use this. This is a Jessup Tapered Highlighting Brush. I also like the e.l.f. Tapered Blending Brush, or the e.l.f. Small Tapered Brush, or anything that's pretty small. And I'm just pressing it in, and I'm not really using much. I just barely tap my brush, and I just kind of, lately I've been avoiding powder under my eyes because I found that it gives me cakey under eyes. Like, I get them very dry, and I don't like that. So I've been just kind of like barely just going tick, 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 and that's it, you know. I'm not like I used to. I used to be like very meticulous about getting it like really in there, and now I think it's actually better when I don't. Okay, so then I take, this powder is just a little bit light. I'm taking it right underneath that contour line again. Okay, so that's it for the foundation routine. I am going to speed through getting ready the rest of my makeup really quickly, and then I'll let you see it at the end. Alright, and then when I've done all the rest of my makeup, I do apply a setting spray. Right now I've been using the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray, and I really like that. I always like MAC Fix Plus, and the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray is really good. But this is kind of the foundation. You can tell I'm not matte, and I like that because I do have dry skin, so it's nice when nothing clings to my dry patches. I have a little bit of contouring, and the Radiant Touch Pen that I use really creates a nice highlight. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my foundation routine. Let me know if you have any other questions about products or substitutions. I could do a whole routine on drugstore too if you guys want to see that. Maybelline has, to me, the best products in the drugstore for foundation and stuff. I found a lot of great concealers and foundations from Maybelline. Thanks for watching. Bye.